And now moving on to the last quarterback and my favorite topic of the day, watching Michael Macheras talk about Ryan Tannehill. So go ahead and start us off, buddy.
First of all.
Yep.
First, Ryan Tannehill
Is the GOAT.
had an amazing season.
He did.
They were 2-4.
I did not expect you to say that. Go ahead.
The Tennessee Titans were 2-4.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they finished the year 7-3 and made the playoffs and then won 2 games in the playoffs on the road.
The Ravens.
Beating the
And
Patriots.
the Patriots.
Oh, the Ravens.
Well, defending Super Bowl champions.
The defending Super Bowl champions and the number 1 seed.
Seed in the
I keep
AFC.
burping. The number 1 seed in the AFC. But a lot of that was a team accomplishment. But the regular season, he went off.
He did really well. In the
He
regular
did.
season.
He was accurate. He was so accurate.
He fit his role very well.
Yep.
Like he was like the perfect puzzle piece for the Titans. Like Mariota went out, Ryan Tannehill came in, and they just became a whole different team. They were filthy.
Yeah.
They were very good.
So they also had an amazing offensive line.
Yep.
Yes.
Their receiving group between their tight end Jonnu Smith, their receiver AJ Brown, Corey Davis, Adam Humphries, they had pretty good years.
Yeah.
They made a lot of plays for Ryan Tannehill. Mm-hmm. Down the field, we've talked about this so many times. Mm-hmm. Their receivers made plays on those deep throws. I think through like 15 weeks of the season, or maybe the entire year, almost the entire year, on throws that were at least 20 yards downfield, Ryan Tannehill was one of the least accurate quarterbacks in the league when it came to when it came to having percent of catchable passes to thrown passes. It was one of the lower ones in the league, but out of all the catchable ones, the receivers caught it, meaning there were no drops downfield. They made about every play that touched their hands. And to me, like, those plays are not to be taken for granted when your receivers make big plays like that. And then you have the fact that the receiving group made a lot of plays after the catch. Like AJ Brown led the league in yards after catch per reception at 8.9 or something like that. So a lot of his yards came from shorter routes in which the receiver made plays after the catch, made guys miss, got into the end zone, whatever. And then you throw in the fact that you had the leading rusher on the team, Derrick Henry. And with the run game being so good and the play action and the linebackers moving up and receivers running in behind that, it just makes it really easy for Ryan Tannehill. But he did make a lot of plays, and he did a lot of on his own, like a lot of off-schedule stuff, a lot of accuracy, great ball placement. But another thing that we have to realize about Ryan Tannehill and why you shouldn't pay him all this money blindly long-term is that he's older. He's 30, 31 years old, I think. He has an injury history. He's been banged up in Miami a lot. Mm-hmm. And if you take all of his games from Miami, you want to stop me? You want to say something?
No, please. Please, keep going.
Like,
No, go ahead.
Are you going to fight for Ryan Tannehill?
No, I'm waiting until you're done. Look, I'm just trying. I'm still confused on what the hell you think about this guy.
Because look, all right,
you're thinking highly of him or not, and then you're like, this guy sucks. But he made a lot of plays. That guy sucks. Like, tell me how you feel about him, and then
I'm going to tell you.
I'll give you an argument.
let me give you my conclusion. I'm building up to it.
Yes, please.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
So, if you take his entire career, his entire sample size. I'm big on sample size, if you didn't know.
Yes, I know.
we know.
We know.
So, like, 12 games, he played 11 games in the regular season. No, 10 games in the regular season. 10 games in the regular season is not going to convince me that Ryan Tannehill all of a sudden became this amazing quarterback.
No one's saying he became amazing, though.
Right, so why would you pay him long-term all that money?
Who are they
when
going to
he's
get?
30 years
He's their
old?
best option.
Who? Yeah.
Trade for Cam Newton.
Trade for Cam Newton. You're talking about a guy with You're talking about Tannehill, a guy with an injury
Or
past.
I'd rather draft someone. I'd rather draft Jordan Love
in what round?
in the first.
In the first round.
Yeah.
Jordan Love in the first.
You don't think they have anything else that they should address before a quarterback?
A pass rusher, that's about it. You can get a pass rusher in the second round.
How much, Michael?
Dude, the Jaguars drafted Gardner Minshew in like the 6th round. They could find
He's filthy.
Find a quarter. Like the kid from Washington State's really good.
Oh, I forgot his name, but I know.
I forget his name too.
Yeah.
Listen.
Look, if you take the entire sample size of Ryan Tannehill's career between the okay years at Miami, the bad years at Miami, which was his most recent. All right, so he had this terrible year in Miami last year. Awful. He battled injuries, though. His team was bad. But he had this amazing year this year. To me, Ryan Tannehill, right now, at this very moment, is somewhere in between that. He's somewhere in between that really, really good year he had this year and the really, really bad year he had last year. So to me, he's a below average starter in the league. So I would not pay him long term. If I'm the Titans, and I think this is what's going to happen, they're going to keep him short term. They're going to give him a 1-year deal. Is that what I have written down here? A 1-year deal worth $26 million. So if
behind that.
So if he plays bad, that's it.
Yeah, but they should give him another
They
chance.
should definitely give him. I think they're
Not
giving
even
him
a
more
question.
than a year. I think they give him 2 to 3.
I wouldn't give him 3. 3 is out of the question.
First of all, you brought his age in 30 to what is he? 30, 31? That's not old for a quarterback.
Brady's
no, but
43.
he's had an injury history, and he's not going to get any better at that age. Is my point.
Okay, but here's the other thing. Vrabel runs a very run-heavy offense that excels with the play action, and he fits that perfectly.
Yeah.
He's not speedy, but he is a mobile. He's mobile. He's mobile enough where he can roll out and make the throws that he needs to. I'm not saying
in the playoffs he didn't. In the playoffs he was
they
bad.
didn't need him to do anything.
Yes,
in
they
the playoffs.
did. He missed key layups. He missed layups against the Chiefs.
Okay.
He also made plays against the Chiefs too.
Not really. He was inaccurate with the ball, and Adam Humphries, their third receiver, was making ridiculous tough catches on like super low balls.
I think you credit the receivers a little bit too much. Just a little.
I'm not, because my eyes aren't lying to me, because I saw Adam Humphries make these tough, ridiculous catches that were off target.
No one's saying this guy's amazing. No one's saying this dude should get paid $35 million. I think if I'm the Titans, I offer this guy a 2 to 3 year contract worth anywhere between 25 to 27.
I'm pretty sure like the Jaguars offered a 1-year wonder a 3-year deal, and it was worth like $90 million.
Okay, I'm not saying they should pay him that much.
Look, he's not as bad as some of these guys. I'm not saying he is, but they all have one thing in common: fluke 1-year wonders, and that's Keenum in 2017, Foles in 2017. And then Blake Bortles, was it 2015? He had that pretty good year. And there was always that one team that fell for it, and they paid them. And a lot of the time it was long term. Like with Nick Foles, it was 3 years for $90 million. That guy, he looks awful now.
Yeah, he's trying. I would play Gardner over him.
Yeah, Gardner's a starter. He got taken over. What are they going to do with that big contract now for a backup quarterback? You got Keenum, who had one good year with the Vikings. And you know what was similar between Case Keenum and Ryan Tannehill? That they had the play action heavy offense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing with the play action metrics. They're not stable, and it's the same thing with under pressure. He was good under pressure. It's not a stable metric. So a lot of the metrics he was good at were unstable. A year-to-year basis is not exactly repeatable.
I just think he fits very well with what the Titans do. So I think they have to give him at least a 2-year chance.
I think they're giving him another 2 to 3 years. And I just don't think there's anyone on the market that's better than Tannehill right now that they can get. And I don't think they're going to draft anyone in the first round that's going to be better than Tannehill. And if they draft someone in the draft, they'll
sit under him for a year or two.
Yeah. Tannehill's not going anywhere.
He's going to revert.
Tennessee shouldn't let him go anywhere.
He's going to revert to the mean.
I don't know, man.
He's going to revert, man. Look at the evidence is right in front of you. No, he's not going to sustain that level of play he played this year. He's going to revert to kind of how he played in the playoffs, which was not very good.
Okay, I think you're okay. I don't think he's that.
I
bad,
like
my guy.
Tannehill, man, but like he's not a franchise quarterback.
I'm not saying he is, but 2 to 3 years isn't a franchise quarterback. 2 to 3 years is
dude. You don't sign a non-franchise quarterback for 3 years and however much. What you want to give him 25?
I think I'm giving
25 to 27. Anything in there is fine. If they give him 30, that's pushing it. But
And if he becomes awful and you find a guy who's better than him,
2 year 27 is perfect, in my opinion.
I think 1 year 26 is fine. Like 1 year, I would even pay him more if it's 1 year. Like just as long as it's nothing more than 1 year, because he's not going to play better than he played this year. And I think the sample size before that outweighs. Like it's just recency bias to me. Like he didn't become great. He didn't become great at age 30
I mean, what was he
overnight.
supposed to do in Miami, though?
he had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had nothing.
Yeah, but he also did nothing. Also, he did nothing too. He was like a one read guy, and now I'm going to take off and run.
I don't know, man. I think he's fine. I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's this. I think he's a middle of the back quarterback that can win them games. And I think that he fits their scheme well, and he made plenty of throws this year to tell me that he can work in the system. And honestly, Michael, I know you say this receiving core is all this and all that. I don't think they're that good.
Okay, prove it. I don't think they're that good either, but they played very well this year. So that's why I'm saying a lot of the reason why he played well was because his receivers were making plays. Like that's why his statistics are very good.
I don't know.
And that's undeniable, the fact that they were making those plays down the field and after the catch. Jonnu Smith was great. He was great for them, especially after the catch also. I think he was up there with yards after the catch. So I think they return on a 1 year deal while he returns on a 1 year deal worth $26 million while they kind of explore other options for the future.
I think he's in a perfect situation. I think they got to give him at least 2.
I think they're giving him 2. What I think they're going to give him is somewhere between 2 to 3. What they should give him is something different, but I think he deserves that 2 year deal.
Look, Case Keenum, Nick Foles, Blake Bortles, 1 year wonders. You know what they all and Ryan Tannehill. You know what they all have in common is that run heavy scheme with the play action.
But you know the Titans are going to keep doing it and get better.
Yeah,
at it.
Vrabel isn't changing anything.
But what happens when like they get stopped? And also Ryan Tannehill didn't play well in the last 2 games.
What do you mean? I mean, they were stacking the box with 8 people, and Derrick Henry was still getting 150 yards a game or more.
They got shut down by the Chiefs. But it's not going to work every year. Your defense is not going to perform amazing every year.
No, I think they have to get some more defensive people.
They need a pass rusher.
Yeah, exactly. Pass rusher. They could go with another corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I like 2 to 3 years, 26, 27.
Too many years.
Yeah,
Three might be a little up there. We'll see. But if they can draft someone and have him sit and learn under him within these 2 years,
if they're drafting someone, it better not be the first 3 rounds. They need to address other things. That's another reason why I think they need to sign him this year, because there's no one that they should go and get. They really don't need a quarterback like that.
Case Keenum fell. John Elway fell for Case Keenum. He fell for him. He fell for it.
John always fell for a lot of bad quarterbacks.
But he ended up trading him for a 6th round. He's like, get this guy off my team, and he traded him for a 6th round pick to the Redskins. And it was like instant regret.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how I feel, man. 2 to 3 year deal, 26, 27.
Like the Nick Foles contract. This is all I think about when I think of Ryan Tannehill. And he's not as bad as those guys.
He's better than those guys. So,
but Keenum looked great. People said Case Keenum looked like a franchise quarterback at that time, and people said people were saying Nick Foles was better than Carson Wentz. So it was like recency. It was just the recency of it.
Okay, those are just fans who don't know what they're talking about. Because, bro, if you watch Keenum before the Vikings, you know how freaking bad he was. Okay, and if you watch him after, you saw how freaking bad he was. So it's the same thing with Foles. Foles had that 1 year.
And it's the same thing with Ryan Tannehill. What if you took him off that scheme? And what if it doesn't succeed the same way?
But we know they're going to keep doing that scheme.
Then the other thing is Tannehill wasn't
okay. And we knew the Rams were going to keep running the same scheme with Goff, and he's regressed severely.
Not when Todd had Arthur write this.
Things don't go as planned.
No, of course. But
and even if he does play well in that system, it doesn't mean that someone else won't play better in that. and that 1 year sample. So
but
not even 1 year. It wasn't even one full year of great play. It was 10 games.
I mean, dude, 10 out of 16 games is like
10 games of great play with everything being perfect around you.
And then you beat the reigning champions and the Ravens, who were supposed to win it this year.
Yeah, but he
threw the ball 15
I mean, he
times.
plays the most important position on the field. So he had something to do with that.
Not for their
Listen,
team.
I'm not saying
he threw the ball 15 times.
Yeah, but he didn't. That's because he didn't need.
And in Kansas City against Kansas City, all he had to do was make a couple throws that were easy, and they would have been right in that game. There was a long pass. I forgot who it was to. It was a layup early in the game, maybe the second quarter, and he just missed them. It was disappointing.
I like Tannehill. I'm not saying he's great.
I do too.
I think he should stay.
I guess
Very surprising. Tighten up.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten down.
Tighten down.
Tighten down.